Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Corporate Dadoji, where we share simple yet powerful life and career lessons to help you thrive both at work and in your personal life. Let me start by asking you a question. Do you often feel overwhelmed by the pressures of work or life? Do you sometimes wonder why things don't go as planned despite your best efforts? Well, let me tell you something that changed my life. There's a way to find peace, focus, and purpose, even in the most challenging situations. And today we'll talk about how the Gita, which can transform your life and your career just as it did mine. Brothers and sisters, I started reading the Gita when I was very young. Like many of you, I had endless questions about life, success, and purpose. I read the entire book, but my mind was still filled with doubts. I couldn't grasp everything, so I read it again. Some questions were answered, but many remained. It felt like trying to solve a puzzle where the pieces didn't quite fit. But I didn't give up. I read the Gita for the third time. And slowly, things began to make sense. But one question kept coming back to me. How can we do our work without worrying about the result? How can we stay calm when things don't go our way? And how can we believe that everything happening is for the good, especially when it feels so bad? These questions troubled me for a long time.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भु मा ते संगोस्त्व कर्मणि। तुम्हारा अधिकार तो केवल कर्म करने का है, फल तो ईश्वर के हाथ में। इसलिए ना कर्म से भागना उचित है और ना ही कर्म के फल की आशा रखना उचित है।
But then something amazing happened. When I read the Gita for the fourth time, and more importantly, started living according to its teachings, the answers started to come. Not just to my mind, but to my heart. I remember during my school exams, I was always nervous and tensed. If I had not studied everything, I would worry, praying, God, please let only those questions come that I've prepared for. I was uneasy, full of fear. But then, one day I studied everything, every part of the syllabus. And you know what? The fear was gone. I walked into the exam hall and said, Lord, I've done my part. The rest is in your hands. That's when I realized something important. We feel restless because we don't do our best. But when we do everything we can, the worry disappears. It's like magic. Same thing happened with me again. I remember when I was preparing for a major project at work. Like many of you, I felt anxious, especially when things were uncertain. If I wasn't fully prepared for a presentation or an important deadline, I'd constantly worry, what if things don't go well? What if I fail? But then one day, I gave it my all. I prepared thoroughly, covering every detail. And as I walked into the meeting, I said to myself, I've done my part. Now, the rest is out of my hands. And you know what? The fear vanished. That's when I realized something important. We feel anxious when we don't do our best. But when we put in our full effort, the worry disappears. It's like magic. But life wasn't done teaching me. There was an incident that caused me deep pain and suffering. I was heartbroken. But just 3 months later, that same painful event completely transformed my life in ways I never expected. That's when I finally understood Krishna's words. Whatever happens, happens for the good. Friends, the more I live by the teachings of the Gita, the more peace I found in my work and personal life. I stopped trying to control every situation and instead surrendered to a higher plan. I learned that life isn't just about what we want, it's about accepting what happens, both good and bad, as part of a greater plan. From that day forward, I've lived by 2 simple principles: Krishna's grace and Krishna's will. When things go my way, I see it as Krishna's grace, a gift. And when things don't, I accept it as Krishna's will, knowing that it's for my own good, even if I can't see it yet. These 2 ideas changed my life. They removed my ego when things were going well, and they gave me strength when times were tough. I began living stress-free, knowing that I was always under Krishna's care, whether through His grace or His will. Now, I want to share something important with you all. Many people believe that the Gita is something to be read later in life when you've retired or have more time. But let me tell you, don't wait. If you start applying the teachings of the Gita now in your professional life, it will guide you through every challenge, every deadline, every difficult conversation with your boss, and every setback. In today's world, we are all under immense stress. Deadlines, client pressures, balancing personal and professional life, it can all become overwhelming. But I promise you, the teachings of the Gita can provide you with the calm, clarity, and focus you need to navigate these challenges. If you ever feel anxious or burned out at work, remember Krishna's words. Focus on your effort, not the outcome. This mindset will not only improve your performance but also bring peace to your mind. Even those struggling with deeper issues like anxiety or depression can find healing through the wisdom of the Gita. Its teachings can be your anchor, your guide, and your source of strength in the storm. So, my dear friends, I urge you start today. Pick up the Gita. Begin with just 2 verses a day. Slowly, you'll start to see a change in how you approach both work and life. The puzzles of life will start to fit together, and the answers you've been searching for will come. Let the Gita be your guide, just as it has guided me. It's not just a book, it's a roadmap to living a balanced, meaningful, and fulfilling life, no matter how busy or challenging things get. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to Corporate Dadoji for more powerful insights on how to live a purposeful life at work and beyond. And drop a comment below. Have you ever had a moment where the teachings of the Gita helped you? I'd love to hear your experiences. Together, let's learn and grow.